Welcome to the Paranormal Bible Podcast.
It's time for another paranormal probe.
This week, 2 chilling flash fiction stories
They take us to the edge of the known world.
where the ancient past collides with the supernatural,
Buckle up.
because these tales are pure horror, blockbuster style.
Right here in your ears.
First up, the fall of Jericho.
A story about an archaeological dig,
In Jericho, one of the oldest cities in the world,
where a seemingly simple discovery.
unleashes a wave of terrifying events,
It all starts with skeletal remains.
found clutching a mysterious amulet.
And the entire excavation team is immediately affected.
Imagine this. Renowned archaeologist Dr. Sarah Whitman.
She unearths this hand.
And suddenly, the whole team starts having the same nightmares.
Shared nightmares.
Among them is Dr. Ben Carter,
The skeptic of the group.
Omar Khayyam, a Jordanian historian,
And Yasmin Al-Arif, a bright young student.
all experiencing the same disturbing dreams.
That's a pretty big red flag, right?
It's not just a coincidence.
Definitely not. This points to something far more sinister.
Something emanating from the amulet.
Exactly. It's like a psychic shockwave hitting them all at once.
And it gets even creepier.
Tell me about it.
The amulet is unlike anything they've ever seen.
Oh.
It's older than any known Jericho artifact.
Wow.
And the design is completely unfamiliar.
Really gets the imagination going, huh?
Dr. Whitman starts feeling uneasy.
Understandably so.
But Dr. Carter, the skeptic,
There's a logical explanation for everything.
he dismisses it as just a weird artifact.
Until, I'm guessing, he actually touches it?
Right, he describes it as feeling wrong
Wrong.
and cold.
Like unnaturally cold.
Exactly.
That sends chills down my spine.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh no.
That night, they go back to the site.
What happens next?
The amulet comes alive.
How so?
It starts pulsing with a sickly green glow,
This is some Indiana Jones stuff.
and the skeletal fingers uncurl.
Okay, that's messed up.
It's like it's reaching out,
It's not a good sign. It's definitely malicious.
and the nightmares intensify.
What do they see?
Vivid visions of Jericho's destruction.
Wow.
Crumbling walls, screaming people.
Like they're reliving the fall of the city.
And there's this haunting melody that keeps repeating.
A melody.
It gets louder and more prominent each time.
Could it be a clue?
Maybe a warning, or even a form of protection.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
The team starts thinking maybe they made a mistake.
What do you mean?
Containing the amulet.
They think it should be free.
They theorize the melody might be some kind of shield.
So by containing it, they actually weakened the shield.
Maybe. It's a risky theory.
Very risky. But what choice do they have?
So they go back to the dig site.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, under the cover of darkness.
Talk about a horror movie setup.
The amulet is pulsing, that eerie green light illuminating everything.
They're playing with fire here.
Omar, the historian, he remembers something.
What's that?
An ancient Arabic song.
What about it?
He believes it's connected to the melody from the nightmares.
Oh, this could be important.
He starts singing it.
Yeah.
Spectral activity goes through the roof.
What do they see?
Shadowy figures.
Ghosts.
They seem lost, confused,
Maybe they're drawn to the melody.
like it's a beacon.
Maybe they need it to find peace.
But then something else appears.
What is it?
A much darker figure.
Uh-oh.
Defined, with glowing eyes,
Not a friendly ghost?
filled with rage.
This doesn't sound good.
And it focuses on Yasmin.
Why her?
That's what they're trying to figure out.
They need answers fast.
They realize the amulet is drawing energy from the living.
Oh, no.
And it's feeding this malevolent entity.
And Yasmin is the target.
She's getting weaker by the minute.
This is a life or death situation.
Dr. Whitman knows they have to act fast.
Is there anything they can do?
She realizes science isn't enough.
So what then?
They need something more. Something ancient. Omar, it turns out, has something.
Really?
Protective charms.
Where did he get them?
His grandmother made them.
Objects of old magic.
Passed down through generations.
That might be their only hope.
They have to try and reverse the flow of energy.
Can they do that?
Omar thinks so.
Ow.
Using the charms as wards.
To trap the energy.
But they need an anchor.
Yeah.
Someone to hold the amulet.
That's incredibly dangerous.
Dr. Whitman volunteers.
She's willing to risk her life.
She thinks she's strong enough to withstand the backlash.
A brave but potentially fatal decision.
She takes the amulet.
Yeah.
She feels the energy coursing through her.
It must be overwhelming.
The wards are in place.
It's now or never.
She throws the amulet to the ground.
What happens?
It shatters in a blinding flash.
Did it work?
The entity vanishes.
Is it over?
They hope so. But there's this unsettling feeling,
What do you mean?
like it was too easy,
There's no trace of the entity.
or the amulet.
It's like it never existed.
And then the government shows up.
Oh, no.
They confiscate everything.
They don't believe the team's story.
And they're forced to leave.
Their experience is being erased.
Before Sarah leaves, Omar gives her something.
What is it?
Another protection charm.
A parting gift.
And a warning.
What does he say?
We opened a door. There will be others.
Chilling words.
Sarah flies home, forever changed.
She's carrying the weight of a terrifying secret.
And the knowledge that it's far from over.
That's a haunting ending.
That was the fall of Jericho.
A story that blends archaeology and the supernatural.
What struck you the most about it?
The power of ancient artifacts.
And the unintended consequences of our actions.
Sometimes it's better to leave things buried.
Now, our second paranormal probe.
We travel to the Sinai Desert.
For the Burning Bushes Whisper.
Provocative title.
We meet Dr. Khalid Al-Farizi.
An archaeologist seeking a break from the archives.
He stumbles upon something extraordinary.
What is it?
A withered acacia bush.
A bush.
But it's pulsing with an unnatural light.
That's strange.
And whispering.
Whispering.
In an ancient, unknown tongue.
This is getting weirder by the minute.
Khalid is drawn to it.
Despite his scientific training,
He's both terrified and fascinated.
a dangerous combination.
The bush identifies itself as a bearer of knowledge.
A source of ancient wisdom.
A conduit to lost echoes of the past.
It sounds tempting.
But there's a price.
What's that?
Blood.
The bush demands blood.
In exchange for wonders.
That's a steep price.
Khalid is torn.
His scientific mind is battling his curiosity.
He gives in, offers a single drop of blood.
What happens?
He receives a vision.
What does he see?
A glorious city.
A lost civilization.
It rises to incredible heights.
A testament to human ingenuity.
But then it falls.
What causes its downfall?
A creeping corruption.
From within.
It's a warning.
About the nature of power.
And the cyclical nature of time.
Nothing lasts forever.
We then shift to a different character.
Who is it?
Dr. Emily Ashton.
What does she do?
She's a botanist.
What's her story?
She's had her own encounter with the extraordinary.
Another whispering entity?
Similar, but with different consequences.
Tell me more.
She's become famous.
Famous? For what?
For her prophecies.
Prophecies.
She claims to hear whispers from a mysterious force.
And they're accurate.
So far, yes.
She's become a global sensation.
A reluctant prophetess.
How does she feel about it?
She's terrified.
Why?
She's lost control of her life.
Her scientific reputation is ruined.
And the whispers are becoming more demanding.
They're controlling her.
Her father encourages her to embrace her platform.
To use her fame for good.
But she knows the platform itself is the problem.
It's feeding the entity.
Meanwhile, Khalid is following her story.
He recognizes the signs.
He sees her as a prisoner, not a prophetess.
He knows there's a price for such gifts.
He decides to find the source of the whispers.
The burning bush.
He believes it's the key to helping Emily.
He needs to understand its motives.
Khalid seeks out ancient legends.
What does he find?
The legend of Zara,
Who is Zara?
a figure associated with the desert.
A protector.
Maybe. The details are unclear.
But Khalid believes she holds the key.
He tracks down the burning bush.
What does he learn?
The bush's philosophy.
Which is?
True power lies in stasis.
Stasis.
In defying the inevitable rot of time.
That's unnatural.
Life is about change, growth, and decay.
The bush wants to stop time.
To control everything.
That's a recipe for disaster.
The desert starts to reflect the bush's influence.
What do you mean?
It's becoming barren. Lifeless.
The bush's power is corrupting the land.
Emily realizes she's contributing to this destruction.
Her prophecies are fueling the bush.
She has to stop it.
But how?
Khalid arrives.
He's found her.
He brings knowledge of ancient rituals,
Not to destroy the bush.
but to redirect its power.
It's a long shot.
And it will require a sacrifice.
Whose sacrifice?
They confront the bush at a corrupted oasis,
A once sacred place.
now tainted by the bush's influence.
This is the final showdown.
The bush taunts Emily,
Tries to break her will.
but she stands firm.
What does she say?
I owe you nothing.
A powerful declaration of independence.
They begin the ritual.
What does it involve?
Ancient herbs, bone fragments, and an emerald shard.
Offerings to the desert.
And Emily's blood.
The ultimate sacrifice.
Zara appears,
She's real.
She shields them from the bush's attacks.
A guardian spirit.
The bush implodes in a violent burst of energy.
Is it over?
Emily collapses.
Is she all right?
She's weak, but alive.
The desert air feels cleaner,
The corrupted musk is gone.
replaced by the scent of the ritual.
A single green shoot emerges from the barren ground.
A sign of hope.
The desert is healing,
Emily is free from the whispers.
but Khalid knows this isn't the end.
He says there is always a way,
Another door has been opened.
leading to more mysteries.
The fall of Jericho and the burning bushes whisper.
2 stories about the dangers of the unknown.
What did you take away from these paranormal probes?
The allure and the danger of forbidden knowledge.
And the enduring power of ancient forces.
What other secrets lie hidden in our world?
Share your thoughts with us. Rate and follow the Paranormal Bible Podcast.
For more captivating paranormal probes into the unknown,
Until next time.
sleep tight.